there, 10 to 13 degrees, single figures further north, and feeling colder when you factor in the wind. And then as we move out of Wednesday into Thursday, that weather front slides southwards. We're all into the colder air. You need to keep an eye on this particular sharp area of low pressure, which could bring severe gales, some snow to northern Scotland. But higher pressure wants to build in for the end of the week. It will be turning colder for all areas. So watch out for that area of low pressure across the north of Scotland on Thursday. Otherwise, it's turning colder for all areas with some sunshine, but a return to some overnight frost. See you later.
Today at 6, the return of GCSEs and A-level exams this summer for tens of thousands of pupils. This year's candidates, after all the disruption of COVID, are to be graded more generously than before the pandemic and given more guidance.
This year group have been adversely affected more than any other year group that have gone through 2 exams so far, and they just really need that boost of knowing what they really need to focus their minds on.
The new guidance was announced in England, but the approach is broadly similar across the UK. Also today, harmony on health policy, says Boris Johnson. He denies the Chancellor delayed a plan to tackle long waiting lists.
What we're doing is working together across the whole of government to fix the COVID backlogs, which, believe me, is a massive priority.
East and West, poles apart. Russia and France discuss the crisis in Ukraine, exploring ways of averting a military conflict. The World Cup finals will not take place in the UK and Ireland in 2030, but the Euros are still a possibility. And on day 3 of the Winter Olympics, a narrow defeat for Team GB in the curling mixed doubles pair.
Coming up on Sports Day later in the hour on the BBC News Channel, Paul Collingwood gets the nod to lead England in next month's Test series against the West Indies. But who's in the running to become the head coach full-time?
Good evening. In England, Wales and Northern Ireland, GCSE and A-level exams will return this summer after 2 years of relying on teacher assessments, which gave students record high grades. The return to exams is to be managed carefully, according to ministers, to